Hello everyone and welcome back to Genie Crafts. In today's video, we are going to take a look at an alternative to Pepakura, which is a free online software through which you can unfold your 3D models. So guys, let's get started. So open up your Chrome browser and on that, open this particular URL. The link for this I have also pasted in the video description, so you can also get the link from there. The name of the site is PaperCraft-Maker.com. When you open the site, you will see the site is divided into two sections. The left hand section is where you drag and drop your 3D models to unfold, and the right hand section is where the unfolded model appears. The different parts for the unfolded model will appear. Then there are settings panel at the top, and a few settings will appear here also as you drop the model. So let's start with a very simple .obj 3D file which I normally use for my low poly models. So let's drop this. When you drop the model, it will not ask you for what is the front, back and bottom of the model. It will automatically just place the model as per its understanding, and it will show you the dimensions of the model. So you have the length, width and the height here. So this is how the 3D model is. And unlike Pepakura, there is no pen feature. In Pepakura, there is a feature where you can exactly define on what lines you want the model to be broken. So that feature is currently not in the software, but I have been in talks with the developers and they plan to add this feature in the future. But lack of this feature doesn't make that much of a difference to the breaking process. You can click on auto unfold and let the system do its work, and then I will tell you about all the exciting things that this particular software has but Pepakura doesn't have. So let's click on the unfold and see how the model appears. So it has divided my model into different parts. These are the different printout pages. So one dotted rectangle is basically one page, and if you want to see the dimensions of the page, then you can go into the 2D settings and you can select the paper type. Right now it's custom because that was last I used, but it's actually A4 page automatically selected. By default it will be A4 page. Now you can see that all the parts are divided, and one of the first things that you are going to see is that these flap numbers will not be by default displayed if you have not used this software before. So since I have used it before, so this is turned on. By default it will be like this, and additionally you will also not see those small black circular marks. This is how your template is going to come out by default. So let's first look at how it comes by default, and then we will go into the different features that are available. So one thing that will strike you immediately is that each part will come numbered on its own, something that is not present in Pepakura right now. You have to number each part separately. Also, another thing that is very exciting is that when you move the part number will automatically move with itself. Can we move this number here and there? Yes, you can move this number here and there, but even if you move it here, it will still move along with the part. So that's a good thing to have. You don't have to manually number the part, and that is one of the most time consuming tasks when we do unfolding the model, is to number the parts in the right sequence. This doesn't guarantee that the parts will be in the right sequence. You might need to renumber the parts as per your desire. So you can look at each part where it follows onto the 3D model, and then you can start numbering the parts. If you want to edit, you can simply hover your mouse over it and then click on this edit icon, and you can simply make it 32 instead of G32 and click OK. Or if you don't want it, then you can simply hit this cross button and the part number will disappear. But you will always have the ability to bring that part number back by again clicking on this icon, and the part number will come back. So that's the first thing that I really wanted to talk about. Second thing, let's say I don't want this part number at all in my 2D template, because at times it happens in the 3D models that we download from internet or we create on our own, is that there are certain parts of the 3D model which we do not want as part of the template. They unnecessarily fill up pages and we just do not want that. So if you want to remove such parts, there are two options to it. One is that when you will select any 2D part, you will see these three items. First is locate the selected, which will locate the part onto your 3D model. So let's say I have put my 3D model like this, and if I'll hit locate, it will clearly locate where this 2D part is on my 3D model. Second is hide the selected. The moment you'll do that, it will hide the selected part. Now, unfortunately, I actually don't know how to bring the hidden part back because I could not see any option anywhere on the software. So I'm simply going to press Ctrl Z. But if you have hidden any part, that part is not going to come back. Okay, so let me press Ctrl Z, sorry, so that the part will come back. The third option is that you simply just fold that part back into the model. When you hide the part, what will happen is that that part will get removed from the 3D model also. So I'll show you again. If you hide this part, you can see it has been removed from the 3D model also. Can you see this gap here? It's completely moved out of your 3D model. So that's one ability to manipulate your 3D model. And the third option is that you fold back this part into the 3D model so that it gets removed from the 2D template but remains on the 3D model. So that's how this comes back. So now this part will no longer be present anywhere on your 2D template, and I don't know how to bring it back onto this 2D template back again. So I'll again press Ctrl C. I don't think that we'll be utilizing this facility too much, but it's good to have feature in case you want to remove certain parts from the 3D model. So that's what these three options are for. Now, if you want to rotate any part, whenever you will select a part, you will see this blue handle, and you can utilize this to rotate it as you like, so that you can do a right placement for the part. So that's the rotate part. What is happening is that this number also keeps getting rotated, but when you will stop, it will automatically adjust and come out in the right position. So that's how you rotate the different parts. Now, coming to one of the most crucial features is the join and the disjoin facility. That means that if a part is too big or too complex, we might want to break it into different parts, or we might want to join smaller parts together. So let's first look at the disjoin facility. That is, we are breaking the part. So whatever edge you feel where you want to break your model, click on that edge. The moment you will click, you will see this icon of cross. Now this icon will not appear if you click on an edge which is free on one side. The different type of options will appear here, but for edge which is inside the part, this icon will appear, and you can click on this scissor icon and the part will break into two parts. Now if you want to join back again, so now these two have become the free edges. So if you want to join back again click, you will see this join icon here, green one, and when you click, it will join with the respective icon. Another important feature is playing around with the flaps. So in Pepakura, when it came to flaps, there were few things that you could do with the flap. One was that you could reverse the flap between the two edges. So move the flap from this edge to this edge, and another one was to play around with the angle and the heights. But the biggest issue with the second feature was that it affected all the flaps uniformly. So it was not like that you could just adjust one flap. So let's try to adjust this flap only. So click on this edge. Now you see these two options. One is edit the flap and one is reverse the flap. So if you click here, the flap will get transferred to the corresponding edge from this edge to this edge, and if you click here again, and you can reverse it back here. So that's the switching of the flaps between the two corresponding edges. The other is edit the flap. So when you click on here, you will see three different dots. The center dot is to adjust the height of the flap, and it will also show you on the specific part how the flap is going to get connected. So I'm working on the flap, and this is the shadow of the flap. So this flap is supposed to get connected here when you are assembling the model. So you can clearly see that the left edge of the flap should not cross this fold line, because you cannot paste across the folded part. So it has to be under this. So if I say, let's say, do this, I can clearly see that when I'm going to paste this flap onto this part, this is going to create a problem. So I can use these side handles to adjust the angle of the flap so that my part does not create any problem when I am gluing it together or assembling the model. Here I can go a little bit more because there is enough space here. By default, do not play along with the angles of the flap because the system does a very nice job of determining the right angles for the flap. But if you feel that you want to increase the height or decrease the height of the flap, then you can play around with the center handle. In any case, if you feel that you have accidentally made the changes and you want to reverse the changes or reset the changes, every time you will make a change, you will see this red cross button. You can just click on it and it will go into its original position. Click anywhere to exit the edit mode. So that's how you play around with the flaps. Now, one more thing which is quite important is intersection of the flaps, where the outlines intersect. So outline is this dark black line that you see around the part. That is the outline of the part, and the center lines are the dotted lines. So these are the mountain folds, the dashed and dotted ones, and the dashed ones are the valley folds. The system recognizes it separately. For the system, these are the valley folds and these are the mountain folds. So let me first clarify what a valley fold will be and what a mountain fold will be, because there are two perspectives from which you can determine a valley fold and a mountain fold. A valley fold is something which you fold towards yourself. So if you are holding the part in front of you and if you fold it towards yourself, that becomes a valley fold. A mountain fold is something that you fold away from yourself. So if you are holding the part and you fold the part away from your direction, then it becomes a mountain fold. So when you take a printout of any model, if the printout is facing towards you and if you fold something towards yourself, it becomes a valley fold with respect to the printed side of the paper, but it becomes a mountain fold with respect to the plain side of the paper, and vice versa for the mountain fold also. So for system is looking at these folds from the non-printed side perspective. So that's why system will call these folds as valley folds, but when we work from the perspective of the printed side. So for all practical purposes, all the dashed and dotted lines have to be folded away from your side and all the dashed lines have to be folded towards yourself, just to make it clear for everyone, because there is one setting which will cause confusion to everyone. Hence I am repeating this again and again, that for all practical and assembly purposes, the dashed and dotted lines are the mountain folds, which means you fold it away from yourself, and the dashed lines are the valley fold, that means you fold it towards yourself. Now, what was the setting that I was talking about? When you go to 2D settings and you click on these advanced settings, you will see something called a valley fold mark, and you will see something called outline intersections also here. By default it will be disabled and you can enable it. So the moment you enable the valley fold mark, everything that I was asking to fold away from yourself get marked as valley, which will create confusion in your mind whether you are supposed to fold it towards yourself or away from yourself. But you have to fold it away from yourself. To be on the safer side, do not enable this option, just keep it as it is. Then you have an option of putting the size for the edge numbers. So as told by the developer, it is recommended to keep it between 16 to 18. So I'll keep it 16 and I'm going to change the color to black. Right now you cannot see the flap numbers. To enable the flap numbers, go to 2D settings and select flap numbers and the numbers will come. I have been told that this blurry nature of the numbers is primarily because of the DPI, which I don't fully understand, but for now keep the font size as big as possible so that they do not crisscross each other. Now there was one setting which was enabled, which was called outline intersections. Let me just dim it a little bit and see if I can find any small orange dots. So let me just create that on my own. So I'll click on this, I'll edit the flap. The moment this flap encroaches into the area of this flap, you will see this orange dot appear, and this is what this particular setting automatically does, that when it unfolds, it identifies all the flaps which are intersecting with each other. If that happens, then you can always go to the flap and you can edit it and change it so that the flaps do not intersect with each other. Now let me load another model. So let me load this model. This is a .stl file. The previous one was .obj file. Now if I'll unfold this, so this particular setting actually allows you to scale your models, increase the width and height of the model. So let me just increase it by 3 times, but it will completely mess up the arrangement. So it's best that you develop your model in such a way so that it is in the right shape. That's how you can increase the size of your 3D model, and then also you can increase the size of your paper if you want. Okay, in case you do not want to see the inner lines, you can just select this, all the fold lines will disappear. In case you want to see the flap shadows, which is very good for beginners to understand where to stick the flap to each other, so you can enable these flap shadows and you can see the shadow of the flap where it needs to be. If you don't want the flaps, you can click on this. If you don't want to see the outline, you can click on this. If you don't want to see the piece name, you can click on this, but you will need to number the pieces separately, and for that you can click on this and add text. Let's say part 1, click OK, and part 1 will come here. So that's how you can manually add. So guys, this software is as good as Pepakura in terms of unfolding the 3D models, and you can create your templates free. There is no restriction. Once you are done with your model and you want to download the template, so let me first bring in a simple model so that I could show you how the template will look. Let me quickly unfold it. So once you are done with your model and you want to download it, save it, export as PDF, there is a PNG option, there is a SVG option, and for 3D printing there is a DXF option also. So export as PDF. Now it's automatically saying you that there will be a watermark, multi-page cutting lines, and for higher quality outputs you will need to pay. Right now the printout will be slightly lower quality output, but that's okay, that's good for your purposes, you don't need to worry about it. So I'll go to file, I'll go to export, and I will save as PDF. I'll click export. And you will see your template. You have to pay no money to utilize this software. It's freely available and it's available in multiple languages. So that's how we use this. In case you are looking for different 3D models, there is a very good gallery here. So go to file, click on the gallery, and you will see a lot of models available in the gallery. You can start with simple models like this totem model, and if you want to work on complex model, then you can look for complex models also. So there are different categories here. You can select the category. So let's say I selected nature. Now in the nature I have Christmas tree, I have mushroom, I have snowflakes and other stuff. So there are a lot of models here, so you can do your practice with the help of the models from the gallery. If you want to load a specific model, click on the model. It will show you the 3D view, then click again and you can load the model. In case you do not want to display the color of the pieces, you can simply click on this texture icon and the colors will go away and the colors will come back once you click again. So you can utilize these options to unfold your models and create a print depending upon your requirement. If during print you find that these pieces are very close to the boundary, so what you can do is you can just shift them slightly and then you can take a printout again. With the models from gallery, it's quite possible that these models will be locked so you might not be able to make any changes. For example, I'm not able to move any part here and there. It's completely locked model. So you can just take a printout and utilize it as it is. So guys, I hope this alternative to Pepakura will be very exciting for you all. If you guys have any questions with regards to the usage of the software, or if you're not able to do anything, do let me know. Drop a comment or drop me an email. And if you want to get any features added, then also let me know. I will pass it on to the developers. So I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. If you guys like the video, then please don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Also do subscribe to my channel for regular videos on paper arts, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Till then, stay safe, take care, and bye bye.